Indigenous Round is a fabulous week to celebrate the NRL's Indigenous culture both on and off the field. And today on the game plan, we will break down 5 of the best young Indigenous and Maori talent in the game right now. I'm Paul Grzadka, joined by Anthony Seibold. And Seibs, let's have a look first at one of your favourite players. It's Jaden Campbell, son of a Titans legend and now making a mark for the Gold Coast on his own right.
Yeah, he is one of my favourite players. In the last 2 weeks, in the wet, he's been electric for the Titans. I want to go back to 2 weeks ago to the Magic weekend, and this is a kick return from Jaden Campbell. The thing I want to point out as the kick chase from the Dragons comes through, I want to point out this. There's a bit of a dent in the line. So you look at that group of 3 chasers, and then there's a little bit of a step back to Jack Bird, who's the 4th last defender for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Now have a look at this. Again, high ball in the wet, Jaden Campbell looks up, gets past to Ballon. So this is the defender in Jack Bird identified, who was a little bit step back on the kick chase. Where do you think Campbell goes? He goes straight into that space there. So again, really good foresight by Jaden Campbell. Poor kick chase by the Dragons on their left-hand side, and the Gold Coast Titans fullback makes them pay with a great run to chew up some metres in a really tough old game.
Yeah.
Again, one of the things about Jaden Campbell I like, if I just take this back a little bit, he will be on long sides on shape, but he'll also get down short sides, and he uses his speed to identify forward defending on a short side. So this time what he's done is he's looked up, he's seen, okay, there's a forward here defending on a short side. So again, he can burn. He's got speed to burn to get away from Tolman, and that's the space he goes for. You can see Moreland there as a 3-in defender. He doesn't go to Moreland. He goes and tries to target the forwards. So that's from short field position. This time it's a longer field position. So again, what he wants to try and do, he wants to use his speed and really try and target Sifa Talakai, the left-hand side centre for the Cronulla Sharks team. So again, there's Sexton. This is Campbell out the back of shape. So again, what we've got is we've got Campbell here, again, trying to get to Sifa Talakai to create a 3v2 situation. So I'll let this play through. There he is, Burns Moreland. And again, a little bit of ill timing from the Gold Coast Titans, but they do create that. There's actually a 1-2 overlap because of his speed, Jaden Campbell's speed, to get on the outside of Moreland, engage Sifa Talakai. They just couldn't quite execute it on the end of the shape, but he's a talented player, got speed to burn, great evasion, and he really is one of my favourite players in the competition at the moment.
He's creating, he's given the Gold Coast an extra dimension. Let's stay in Queensland. Selwyn Cobbo, he's really made his mark on the NRL this year. Let's talk about the different ways that he can hurt opposition defences.
Yeah, well, he's been a sensation for the Broncos, and the amount of tries he's scored in recent weeks has been phenomenal. And again, he's a real, I won't say a shoo-in for the Origin, but I'm sure Billy Slater's paying particular attention to his performances. One of the things that he'd like is his toughness on his carries in the backfield. So again, there's not a lot of analysis here, but Selwyn Cobbo gets the ball about a metre from his, the dead ball line for the Broncos there. He gets away from Luke Keary. Again, he looks up, there's a couple of defenders in front, he gets through that line there. Oh, that's a tough carry. That's the sort of carry that Billy Slater would be looking at for Queensland. So again, his aerial skills are second to none in the competition at the moment. So you can see him there leaping above Mitch Barnett, the back row for the Newcastle Knights. But again, what he looks at and scans is for some space after he gets the ball. So what he's identified is this space here between Matt Crocker and also Phoenix Crossland, who comes into shot here in a minute. He gets through that space. Now, I'll let this play through. There's one other thing I want to point out. Great skill by Selwyn Cobbo. So you can see him holding the ball in his left arm there. As Callum Ponga approaches, you'll see this. He transitions to 2 hands, transitioning to 1 hand, and he can use his left-hand fend. So great skill by Cobbo. There he is, 2 hands. Now he holds the ball in his right hand and uses a left-hand fend on Callum Ponga. So that skill, running at that pace, is outstanding. The last thing I want to show is his aerial skills in attack. So he's got a great combination with Adam Reynolds in season 2022. And you can see a little bit of space outside Ruben Garrick there, the left-hand side winger for the Manly Seagulls. Again, you'll see a little bit of late movement off the ball there by Selwyn Cobbo. But essentially what he's going to do is come in on what I call a J line into that space there. He's really put, or the Broncos have really put Ruben Garrick and Ben Trebojevic under pressure there, the last 2 defenders. You'll see Cobbo come through. Great execution by Adam Reynolds, but Selwyn Cobbo, his late movement off the ball there to put himself into that space, and he goes through, executes the catch. Another 4-pointer for Selwyn Cobbo.
I love the deception to the Manly defence, how he comes so late, and then the kick over the top, and unstoppable.
It's like a wide receiver in NFL. It really is. Brilliant work there by Selwyn Cobbo and the Broncos.
Let's have a look at Ruben Cotter now. He's a player making waves in North Queensland, and he really works hard through the match, both in attack and defence.
He's got a great story. He's one of the hardest working players in the competition, and he's come back off the back of 2 or 3 knee reconstructions. He was a really elite junior, but I'm just loving seeing him play so well in the NRL for the Cowboys. And he's a tough, hard worker. But what I want to show is his effectiveness as a small forward in the competition. What he does is he gets back in inside shoulders particularly well, particularly in and around the markers and the 8 defenders. So he gets back in inside shoulders. There, that space there. He gets back on the inside shoulder of Fanua Blake. You'll see Matt Lodge there in the number 10. He came a little bit late. But Ruben Cotter uses that, I suppose, agility and ability to get on inside shoulders of defenders to make defensive teams pay. Now, the other thing about Ruben Cotter is this, the selfless acts in the game. So there's Ruben Cotter there. He's running what we call a lead line or as a decoy runner, option runner for Cohen Hess. So it's a little thing, but it's a big thing. Watch his work off the ball now. Gets back, reloads, hold it here. Now he's seen that there's a defender down. Reece Robson gets out of dummy half, but just have a look at the change of pace from Ruben Cotter here. Robson gets out, change of pace here now by Ruben Cotter, pushing in support just in case. He runs away and scores a fantastic try, almost the try of the weekend in the last game of Magic Round up in Brisbane a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, again, hard-working player. Just want to show one other example of Ruben Cotter working hard, and it's with his defence. So you can see him there in the number 10 jersey, breaking from the scrum. Look at all the other forwards there for the other Cowboys. They're still stuck in the scrum, not Ruben Cotter. Works hard, makes a good tackle on Jack Johns there from the Knights. But again, watch him on the next play. Doesn't rest. Drinkwater goes back. Ruben Cotter keeps filling the space just in case. Makes a really good contact there on the Newcastle Knights forward. That's his work ethic. You know, he's making double up efforts from marker there. I love everything about his game at the moment. And you talk about State of Origin potential players. I think Billy Slater would be looking at Ruben Cotter as well.
Seems like a great guy for the 17 for Billy Slater in Queensland. Let's switch south of the border now, and a player making his return just in time for Indigenous Round is Will Kennedy. He's also the son of a popular ex-player, Tigers centre Will Bubba Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Will Jr., well, he's really evolved his game in the last 18 months.
So he's always been really dangerous as a ball runner. So out the back of shape in the past, what he's been able to do is, use his speed and innovation to get in between defenders and be a real threat running the ball. The thing I like about his game in I suppose over the last 12 to 18 months is his ability to use the ball. And again, let's have a look at some of his shape out the back of the Cronulla Sharks shape, which has been effective in the early rounds. So again, this is a slingshot setup. So there's the centre and the winger, so the fullback, centre and winger, all nice and tight together. Just have a look at the soft hands of Will Kennedy here at the back of shape. There he is there to Jesse Raymond. So he engages, he's got speed to get across to the second last defender there, Gildart for the Tigers. Disengages him, soft hands, and again, look at that. Jesse Raymond goes through, finishes the try. Again, we'll see a similar sort of situation here. There's the 3 left-hand side attacking players for the Cronulla Sharks, all nice and tight. So that slingshot set up. This time it's Sivitalakai as the centre rather than Jesse Raymond. But again, just have a look at the silky hands there of Will Kennedy. That's the thing that he's added to his game over the last 12 to 18 months. And I think he's been fantastic at being that sort of link between, the ball players in the Cronulla Sharks and, their centres and wingers who are scoring a lot of tries. This time from yardage. So we identify Will Kennedy at the back of shape there. Moreland's the ball player. Again, engages, good catch and pass. Now, Sivitalakai does a hell of a job here. But what I want to do is let's look at what Will Kennedy does now. So there's Will Kennedy here now. So he's passed the ball, was in a little bit of traffic. Just have a look at him push through that middle third of the field just in case he gets the ball back. So Talakai runs away. Doesn't look like Will Kennedy's going to get the ball at all. Where is he? Just in case. There he is, pushing down that middle third of the field. Gets through and scores a 4-pointer, which becomes a 6-pointer for the Cronulla Sharks a few weeks ago against the Manly Seagulls. So his work off the ball's improved a whole heap. But I love the deft touch that he's got with his passing game now.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And now let's go to one of our emerging Maori talents in Jordan Riki. Siebes, you had a lot to do with Jordan when you were up in Brisbane. Can you talk about how difficult he is to defend? end.
Yeah, he's got a great ability to run lines. So back at inside shoulders or to the outside shoulders of defenders and puts defenders under pressure. Made his debut in 2020. He was a young, sort of immature player, but he's really grown over the last couple of years, and it's been great to see his development. What I want to do is I want to identify who Riki is trying to get at in different situations. So I look at the 3-in defender in Burton, and obviously when Brenton Aiden was still playing at the Bulldogs, he's a 2-in defender there. So what Riki likes to do is really target that space there to put those two defenders under pressure. So this is from earlier in the season. He's got a good combo there with Reynolds. There he is, in between the 6 and the 4 for the Bulldogs, and he's putting them under pressure with his carries there. So he runs a great line. So this time again, a little bit wider field position, but again, I want to point out Clune's the 3-in defender, Bradman Best is the 2-in defender, and I spoke about Riki loving going through that space there. So this time, Bradman Best doesn't get a chunk of Jordan Riki, goes through off the back of that line running ability and scores the 4-pointer. So that's back at inside shoulders. The other thing Jordan Riki does very well as an edge back rower is, and again, this is game planned at times, but when they know that there's a centre who likes to jam, so we're going to look at young Ben Trebojevic there in the number 3. So Ben Trebojevic comes out, likes to jam. And what it does, it puts pressure on this defender here, who's the 3-in defender for the Manly Seagulls left-hand side there. So again, I'll just back it up a little bit. I'll let this play out. There's Trebojevic's jam. There was Jordan Riki to the outside shoulder and puts pressure because it's an outside shoulder tackle for the 3-in defender there for the Manly team. So he's got great ability to run lines. I've been, really impressed with his development over the last sort of, 12 to 18 months, and he's an emerging player in our game.
Another reason why Brisbane are going so well. Thanks for that great analysis, Seibs. It is Indigenous Round. It's one of my favourite rounds of the NRL season. If you want to head out to any of the games this weekend, simply go to nrl.com/tickets.